John, did you think you'd get more out of the running game today? I'm not saying more plays, I'm just saying more production.
What were the exact statistics?
I don't have them in front of me, but I know.
Maybe 140-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana has a good defense. They have a good front seven. They did a good job of stopping the run today.
Did you do anything differently that you didn't see on film against the run?
Honestly, I'd say it comes down to they outperformed us today.
Is this going to be hard to bounce back from?
No, I think we've got a resilient group of guys. We just got to go back on Monday, watch the film, learn from it, and move on.
John, did you have a sense at all this week, coming out of the bye, in terms of guys' readiness for this?
I mean, we were ready to play this Saturday like any Saturday. At the end of the day, Indiana came to play, and they outperformed us.
What's the worst part about today, other than obviously the loss?
I'd say the worst part about today would be the loss.
Just the loss.
That's yeah.
Not the way anything materialized during the course of the game. Just asking.
No,
Okay.
Do you see it, John, as kind of a low point over the last year and a half?
I don't think you can talk about, this being a low point right now. It's a loss. Indiana beat us. On Monday, we're going to go back, look at the film, learn from it, and then move on to Michigan. You can't look at games like that.
I think Penn State fans are going to say that this Indiana team has really gotten gashed by the run against other teams. Navy 444 and Missouri 280, and that why couldn't this offensive line do that? There's not that much difference between this offensive line and last year's offensive line, pretty much the same guys. So I think they were expecting the same kind of performance. So they would ask that question, so I got to ask that.
In my opinion, I don't think you can compare different games. There's different situations week to week. And this week we went out there and we tried to do what we could to win, and we came up short, and Indiana did a great job.
What was it about Indiana that did a great job, would you say?
I'd say they outplayed us. It's simple as that. You can't look at certain position groups, certain people. This was a team loss.
It seemed like, especially Donovan kept getting chippy. Was it getting chippy down there? Was it frustration, you think? It seems kind of out of character for him. Do you know anything about what the...
I wouldn't know anything about that.
John, do you think you guys are still searching for an offensive identity? How would you characterize what you guys do well versus what's still coming along?
I'd say we're going to have to go back and honestly look at the film. It'd be premature to say anything about what we did well and what we didn't right now. Okay. We'll look at the film and see what we need to work on, see what we did well, see what we need to improve on.
How important is leadership going to be off of a difficult performance like this?
I think we've got some good leaders on our team. I think we've got a resilient group of guys. I think we're going to continue to play every Saturday as hard as we can.
Is it fair to say, or is it lazy for us to say just it's easy? Like Allen Robinson went down, and was it like a kind of a drain or a sinking feeling when he was like that was kind of the turning point in terms of the scoring of the game? Was there anything? Is that kind of tough to just watch and deal with?
A-Rob's a great player, fantastic football player, but we've got a lot of good players. We've got guys behind him who came right in and stepped up. So I don't think you can blame the loss on that.
John, what do you think they did better than you?
Like I said before, it'd be premature for me to say they outperformed us in certain position groups. Honestly, you have to go back and look at the film.
You bring up the resiliency, and Coach brought up the fact that 61 scholarship players. I mean, does that, not that that's an excuse.
That's not an excuse. Indiana outperformed us today, irrespective of scholarships.